Leah never wanted to leave the city,
but after a painful breakup, she couldn't afford the rent on her old place. That's how she ended up in a narrow, leaning apartment building on the edge of town. One of those places that always felt damp, no matter how sunny it was outside. The landlord, an old man with eyes like cracked glass, gave her one piece of advice when she signed the lease.
Ignore the intercom if it rings after midnight. It's old wiring. Plays tricks.
She brushed it off. Ghost stories didn't scare her. She had real problems. But her very first night there, Leah woke up to the apartment's intercom buzzing violently. The clock on her nightstand read 12:07 a.m. Half asleep, she shuffled over and picked up the receiver. A low, breathy voice whispered,
"Let me in."
Her blood went cold. She slammed the receiver down, convinced it was some drunk neighbor messing around. But when she checked the peephole, the hallway was empty. The next day, she asked the elderly woman living across the hall if anyone had been at her door the previous night. The woman's eyes went wide and she muttered a prayer before slamming the door. Each night, like clockwork, the intercom buzzed at 12:07 a.m. Every night, the same whisper,
"Let me in."
Soon, it started saying more.
"I used to live here. They locked me out. I'm so cold."
Leah unplugged the intercom. It still rang. She tried to ignore it, stuffing towels into the speaker. The voice grew more desperate, the whispers turning into guttural moans. She heard her name spoken with a familiarity that made her skin crawl. By the end of the first week, she began to see a dark figure standing across the street beneath a flickering streetlight. It never moved during the day. But after midnight, it seemed closer, its shape clearer. The figure wore a jacket identical to her ex-boyfriend's, but the face was wrong, stretched, pale, and full of jagged teeth like a broken mirror. Neighbors began avoiding Leah, turning away when they saw her in the hall. One evening, she heard knocking at doors, soft at first, then violently pounding. But it wasn't her door.
Until it was.
The night Leah decided she couldn't take it anymore, she called the police. An officer arrived around midnight. She was explaining everything when the intercom buzzed again. The officer scoffed and picked up the receiver himself.
he listened for a moment.
Then his eyes rolled back. He dropped the receiver, backed into the wall and whispered,
"It's inside."
Suddenly the lights went out. In the dark, she heard the intercom speaker click to life over and over, each time echoing the same frantic whisper.
"Let me in. Let me in."
The officer collapsed as cold air swept through the apartment. Leah tried to flee, but found herself rooted to the spot. Through the window, the figure outside had vanished. Then she heard it. Slow, deliberate footsteps climbing the stairwell. They stopped at her door. A shadow moved beneath the crack of the door, blotting out the hallway light. She peeked through the peephole and saw only darkness. An eye stared back from inches away. Then the doorknob began to turn with a slow, scraping click.